Hey, Chad here from webinsiders.com, and Justin from Tools for Motivation asked me to make this video to show you guys how to set up a really simple e-commerce shop online so you can start selling your ebooks or products through your website. Now, this is assuming that you already have a WordPress website set up. We're going to be using WooCommerce, which is the same system that Justin uses, and I'll show you how to set that up. It takes only a few minutes to install it and set it up, and I'll go through all the settings, and we'll show you actually how to, first of all, make an ebook using some articles and some content that Justin provides you through your membership or even for free during his freebies that he gives away each week. We're going to use one of those freebies, create an ebook, sell it online using WordPress and WooCommerce. Okay, so what do we need to set this up? First of all, you're going to need a WordPress website, and I assume you already have one set up. If you don't, you can look online on Google and on YouTube. There's lots of tutorials that show you how to set it up. Once you have hosting and you've installed WordPress, then you're also going to need a method of payment. So that's going to be PayPal or Stripe in this case. Those are the two easiest to set up. PayPal you've probably heard of before and probably already have an account with, so that's an easy one to set up. And if you want to accept credit cards and have it go directly to your bank account and not into an account like PayPal, then you can use a service called Stripe, and they are used all over the world. They have many countries that they accept, so you can check that out at stripe.com. So once you have a website and you have a payment method, we're going to be installing an e-commerce shopping cart on our website right now, and that's how you'll be displaying your products and selling them to clients. So as you can see, I already have WordPress set up on a demo website here for us to play around with. I've set it up as an e-commerce quick demo, and you can see it's the default WordPress installation. You would obviously have a theme or something installed to make it look pretty, but we're just going to show you how to do this really fast. So this is the default WordPress installation. If we go and visit our website right now, it looks something like this, which is just a really simple WordPress site. There's nothing going on it right now. So how do we set up an e-commerce site? First of all, we're going to install a plugin called WooCommerce. So we're going to go to plugins and add new and search for WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce is a free plugin and an e-commerce plugin that lets you have a shop or a shopping cart. Now, WooCommerce is also run by the same company that runs WordPress. WordPress recently acquired the WooCommerce company, so WordPress now runs WooCommerce. So you know that it's well supported. It is used by a lot of e-commerce stores online, and it's one of the most popular plugins out there because it's open source and it's free to use. So we're going to click on install now, and that's going to install the plugin. And there we go. We're going to click on activate. So once you click on activate, you'll be brought to the WooCommerce quick setup screen. And this is just a setup wizard to help you set up your store really fast, depending on where you live. So we're going to choose our country. You can choose from the United States, the UK. There's all the different countries listed here, as well as the state or province, depending on where you live. So I live in Canada, so I'm going to choose Canada and choose my province here. We'll put in our address. And you're going to choose your currency. So this is going to be the currency that you're accepting payments in. We're going to most likely choose United States dollar, which is a universal payment currency for most e-commerce online stores, but you can choose your own local currency if that's what you prefer. And the last option is it's asking if you sell physical or digital products or both. If you ship physical items to your customers, then you'll want to choose physical products, or you can choose both. This just lets you WooCommerce know if you need shipping addresses and to be able to track shipping and things like that. If you're just selling ebooks online, then you can choose digital products, and that's all you'll need. Now, if this can be checked off if you are selling at trade shows or in person. Since we're going digital here, we're not going to have that checked off. And we can choose to allow WooCommerce to collect information on us. We're going to uncheck that and click on Let's Go. So the next step is for payment methods. And as I mentioned earlier, there's Stripe and PayPal. These are two payment methods that are built into WooCommerce by default. There are many other payment methods that you can install as extensions, but these are the easiest to set up if you're new and just wanting to quickly set up something to accept payments. Stripe is great because it's the newer version of payment method collection. It allows you to accept credit cards online just like PayPal, but the biggest advantage of Stripe is that the money, when it's collected, goes straight to your bank account instead of sitting in an account like PayPal has. PayPal is accepted in a lot more countries than Stripe is, but it also allows people to pay with just their PayPal account balance. Maybe they don't have a credit card, so that does give some extra flexibility for people that are purchasing online. You can choose to accept both of these, or you can just turn them off if you don't want, whichever one you want. And this can be changed later on, so don't worry if you aren't really sure. If you don't have a Stripe account, you can check this checkbox and it will start to activate one for you. You can also choose to accept payments offline. If you are using this for, as I said, in-person type of things, accepting checks, accepting cash, that sort of thing, you can turn that on. And finally, we're going to click on Continue. That brings us to our extras screen. So this lets you install the default WooCommerce theme, which is called Storefront. You can install that, which is optimized for WooCommerce and looks really nice. I would recommend that we do that if you don't already have a theme that supports WooCommerce. WooCommerce also gives you the option of turning on automated taxes and WooCommerce services. These are cloud-hosted different services that add functionality to WooCommerce that will run not on your own server, but on the WooCommerce server. So if you want to allow WooCommerce to just update tax rates for you and not have you input them manually, you can check this off, and what this will do is automatically figure out what the taxes are depending on where the customer is putting their address in from. This is nice if you don't really know anything about taxes or what the tax rates are in the different countries that you want to accept payments from. If you aren't really sure about taxes and you're not really sure what those rates are, I would recommend that you leave this on, and then it will fill those out for you. If you want full control over your tax rates and things like that, you can just uncheck that and click Continue. Next up, WooCommerce will ask you if you want to activate Jetpack, which is a WordPress built plugin with a whole bunch of features. If you don't really want Jetpack, you can just skip that step and not activate it. I don't really need it. It has a lot of extra things, but you don't really need them. So I'm going to click skip for now. And that's it. We're going to now put our email in here, and it will email you if you want updates about new WooCommerce features. Just type your email in and click on the Yes Please button. And now we're ready to get started. So I'm going to just return to the dashboard and get back into our WordPress admin panel. Okay, so now we're back in our WordPress admin panel. You'll see that WooCommerce has been added on the left-hand side. We have orders, coupons, reports, settings, status, and some extensions that you can browse. So that's basically what the WooCommerce menu is. And on your dashboard, you also see that since we had Stripe checked off as a payment method, it turned that on and is asking for our account information so we can connect that really quickly. There's also this box that appears right now where they are prompting you to design your store and add some example products. I'll show you what that looks like right now. If you click on Let's Go, you'll see what happens. So what this does is it installs some demo products for you just to play around with. So now your site looks like a real e-commerce website. We're going to skip the tour right now. I'll just show you really quick what it does. So right now it's installed the WooCommerce default theme storefront, and it's also installed some categories, some products, some different shirts and things like that, just to show you what you can do with a store like this. So that's really neat. It's just nice for you to be able to go in and see how they do it and have some demo information in here just to play around with. And you can now go through the WordPress customizer to be able to change some of this info, like what the name is, put your own logo up here, and it sort of walks you through changing the look and feel of your website. Now you can always go back to any of this later. Okay, so this is WooCommerce. This is the essential WooCommerce dashboard and the main menu items. I'll walk you through them really quickly. We have orders, which obviously we don't have any right now, but you can also add manual orders and choose that and choose and fill in an order if you want to manually for a customer. You can add coupons and add promotions. You can look at reports with graphs showing your income and the purchases over time, over the month, over the year. You can view sales by product, by category, by coupon usage, and by downloads, since we're using digital downloads. In our settings, this is where we're going to be going through all of our settings. Some of them were already filled out because of that setup wizard that we saw at the beginning, such as our address, our countries, and our currencies. You can also go into products and choose some more settings in here, such as what page is your shop main page, measurements if you have physical products, and turning on reviews and star ratings and things like that. Shipping we won't need because we are using digital products. If you go to checkout, you'll be able to enable or disable coupons, allow people to purchase a product without registering for your website. You can check guest checkout or not. You can also set up your different pages and your different payment gateways. Now notice when you're in the checkout tab, there's all these links at the top here. This is a navigation button for all the different things that are under the checkout tab. So this isn't what you see here is not everything on the checkout tab. You'll want to click on these different items to go through them. So these are your different checkout payments methods. So PayPal, for example, if you want to set up PayPal, you would click on PayPal or PayPal Express and enable it, and then what you want it to be called on the shopping cart screen, and type all your information in here for PayPal so that it can connect to your account. Same for Stripe. You would click on Stripe, and then you would insert your Stripe test keys and API keys that you can find in your Stripe settings. Once you have those turned on, then you'll be able to use them as payment methods. Another thing that's interesting to note is that you're able to have test mode turned on. So if you want to just see if products what your checkout process looks like without actually spending money to do the test, you can turn on test mode and be able to make a payment that's not a real payment, just to see how it works. Next is the accounts screen. You can use this to control how you want people to be able to sign up for your website or not. You can enable registration on the checkout page, which I highly recommend. That lets people create an account on your website once they make a purchase so they can save their order. So if they don't do that, then they don't get to be able to revisit their orders on your website later. So having that is really important. You can also have a registration on your My Account page. You can have the customer login reminder on the checkout page so that they can log in and access their account when they're making a purchase. So it remembers that order for that account. You also have a few settings for account creation. So once someone does decide to purchase and check out and make an account, it will make a username based on the customer's email, the email that they typed in when they were making their purchase. You can also automatically generate a password if you want and make it easy for them, or allow them to go in and create their own password once they sign up. The next tab is emails. These are all the emails that WooCommerce will send on your behalf to your customers when they purchase something. You can go in here and change the email wording to be a little bit more friendly or have your own branding on it just by clicking on the links here. So by default, the wording is fairly good that WooCommerce has in here. This would be mainly if you want to change the actual look of the email, if you want to put your own logo in it or change the colors and things like that. So for example, if I have a completed order, I can click on here, and what it does is it lets you choose what you want the subject line to be in the email. So if you don't want it to say that your whatever product order is complete, you can say, thanks for your purchase you you're able to save the changes, which will change, the subject line that goes out for this email. If you want to actually change the template of the email, you have to copy, you have to click this button over here to copy the template into your theme so you can customize it. So you're just going to click on this button here to copy the file to the theme, and you'll be able to go into the template now and change things up. You can change all the code and add different things if you want to. The last thing is the API. So this is if you want to enable the API for the different services. I would leave that checked off for now. So that's it for settings. Status is just showing you if your site is working correctly or not, and if you have all the settings needed for it to work. And then extensions is if you'd like to install extra add-ons for WooCommerce, such as there are different plugins here. So now we're going to see that there's a products section. And this is separate from the WooCommerce menu. It's its own menu called products. And this is where we can create our product. You can create tags, categories, and attributes for your products. And you can also view them in the table here once you have some installed. So we're going to add a product in a minute, but before we do that, I'm going to show you how you can change the look and feel of your website really fast here. So if I go to the website right now and I refresh, this is the way that it looked before. And if I refresh now, you'll see that it looks a little bit different because now it's using the storefront theme. So I have things like a cart, a checkout, my account, a sample page, and the shop. And if I go to the shop, there's obviously no products in here yet, but we'll see our product here when we add it in. The My Account is for someone to log in and view their orders and their order history and invoices and things like that. Sample page is just a page showing you how you can add pages into the navigation here. Checkout is if you've added a product to your shopping cart, you can check out and actually purchase it, but we don't have any. To change those menu items, you can just click on Menus under Appearance, and you'll be able to create your own menu order by naming it something. I'll just call this main menu. You click on Create Menu, and then you can start adding the different pages in whatever order you want. So if I want a certain page to be, my sample page to be at the beginning, for example, and I want the shop to be second and the My Account to be last, you can do it like that. You can also have your cart, and I probably wouldn't put checkout in the menu just because you want people to go to their cart first, which will bring them to the checkout page later. And you also want to add it to which menu you want to add this order to. So I want to add it to my primary menu, which is the one in the theme at the top of the screen. So now when I go back to my site and I refresh, you'll see that the order changes. And now we have our sample page, which could be a home page, it could be a sales page, it could be anything that you want that way. You have your shop to actually browse products, the My Account, and the cart. This is your sidebar where you can put all your different widgets. That's where you can access those under widgets. You can get rid of those if they're not relevant. I'm just going to remove these to show you how that works. So we'll just clean this up, get rid of these widgets that come default in WordPress. And you can use widget areas to do things like have promotional graphics to promote a different product, or if you want to use it to promote an upsell for something, you can use your sidebar widget for that. If you want to just put a basic image or text, you can use this text widget, and you click and hold your mouse down and drag it into the section that you want. So I've dragged it up here. You can give it a title. And you can save it. And now you can put images or any kind of code in here using this text widget, where you're able to put HTML code and other things if you'd like. Now when I refresh the page, there we go. This is going to delete, and you'll see that there's our widget we just made right now. So that's us. This will appear on all the different pages on your site. There's other plugins you can install to customize where you want these widgets to show. But we're just keeping this simple. So we have a simple site. We can put a logo in here if we wanted to. We have a sidebar selling different products. We have our shop, our account, and our cart. So how do we add a product now? That's the only missing piece. Before we do that, actually, we want to make sure that we've cleared out these categories and tags. So I'm going to go into categories, and you'll see that there's some of this demo content that you can play around with if you'd like. I'm going to just delete these categories because I'm not using the apparel demo. And we're going to make our own category. We'll call this ebooks, for example, or motivational. And we'll just call this motivation. This is what they call a slug. And what that means is in the URL, so your website.com / this will be in the URL when they're searching this category for motivational content. So you can call this whatever you want, but this is what's going to show in the URL, and this is what it will show in the actual store itself. This is a parent category. There's nothing above that. And we're going to give it a description of, okay, now you can add a graphic for your category, which will show in the store. And otherwise, you can just leave that empty. Click on Add New Category, and there we go. It's been added here. So uncategorized is just a default in WordPress for things that are that don't have a category given to them, so you can leave that alone. And now we're going to look under tags. There's no tags here, which is good. There's no attributes either, I don't believe. Perfect. So we're all set. This has been reset to be empty, which is what we want. So we're going to click on Add New, which will create a new product. So before we actually add the product in, we have to have some sort of product, an ebook, a PDF, a download of some sort. So to do that, we're going to create one, and I'll show you how to create a simple ebook using existing article content or PLR content. I'm going to go into this package I have here. So this is a product called Finding Inspiration, and you can see that there are some articles in here. So I'm just going to take some of these articles and turn them into an ebook. So to do that, I'm going to be using a service called Beacon. And you can access Beacon by going to beacon.by. And if you go there, you'll see this homepage here. We're going to create a free account. So I'm going to type in our sample e-commerce demo. I'll put my email in here. Choose a password. And accept the terms of use and click on create. And that's it. So now we are signed up for Beacon. We're going to choose that we want an ebook. You can also choose checklist or resource guide, which the templates are a little bit different for those. We'll choose ebook for now. And you can import your blog content if you already have a blog. We don't have blog content, so we're going to hit no. And then you're going to choose a theme for your ebook. Now there's a lot of beautiful looking themes here. We're going to choose one that's going to work for our motivational ebook. This one with the Explorer looks pretty neat. So that will work for motivation. I'm going to click on it, and it loads the editor for our ebook. So if I'm looking through the articles that are included in this package here, we have 5 effective ways to get inspiration, finding inspiration in nature, which goes well with our picture here. And we also have how to make the most from your role models. What else do we have here? The key to finding inspiration. So these 4 articles seem to go with inspirational content and how to find inspiration, how to find it in nature. So we can probably put all these together into an interesting ebook. So let's go back to Beacon, and you'll see that it has a table of contents here with all our different pages. If we click on them, you can see that it shows the different sections here, which are really nice looking and done for us, ready to go. So we can just leave these pages in here for now because they could be useful for us to add a couple neat things like an introduction or about our author or about our website. We can put our information in here about our website. And there's also a call to action page if we want to, for example, book a consultation, or if you're a consultant, you can book a consulting session. So we're going to leave these in here for now, and we're going to add our pages in from our article. So I'm going to click on Add Page, and you can choose articles, news, call to actions, or table of contents. So we're going to choose article because we have some articles ready to go. We're going to name the page. So I'm going to look in my articles that I have here. We have 5 effective ways to get inspiration, the key to finding inspiration. I'm going to start with the key to finding inspiration. I'm going to create the page. So I'm going to go into my file, the key to finding inspiration, and here's the file here. And I'm going to essentially copy all this content from the article, which is a one-pager, which works nicely for us. I'm going to copy that information, and I'm going to paste it into Beacon. So I'll just delete this here and clean it up a little bit. And you'll notice that there is some page breaks already made for us by Beacon, depending on how long our content is. So there we go there. Let's also add a new page for another article, the 5 effective ways to get inspiration. So I'll copy that. I'll open this up. Here's this article. I'll make a new page, an article page with that name, and I'm going to insert that in here. Copy the content here. Go back to Beacon, I'll paste it in here. That's over 2 pages there. And we're going to add another couple pages in here, and I will pause the video and add those in right now and skip ahead here. Okay, so now you can see I've added 4 sections in here. We have the key to finding inspiration, 5 effective ways to get inspiration, finding inspiration in nature, and using role models. So these are the 4 sections I've added. I can drag and drop using this table of contents here, so I can move this down, this call to action, to the end. And I can delete chapter 1 since I won't need that. About the author, I can put some information about my website that I have. So then you can put some information about your website here or your services. And you can also have an introduction, which is pretty nice. I'll just remove that for now for the demonstration. So as you can see, we have a table of contents page which already has our table of contents filled out. These are linked to these sections, which is nice. And this is called call to action, but I would probably rename that something else so it doesn't sound so strange. And we'll call it book a consultation. And there we go. So now our table of contents looks really nice. We will change the title of the ebook to Finding Inspiration in Your Life, a guide to motivating yourself daily through inspiration around us. So this has to do with inspiration, and that's part of the motivational content here. So that makes sense. And there we go. We can go into our next tab, which is content. If you have a logo, you can upload your logo. There's some advanced settings like, text direction and things like that. If we go into layout, we can see that there is a few different settings here. We can have it as one column. We can have it as a circle, as a box in the middle. There's a whole bunch of different layouts. Great. Okay, that's starting to come together now. We're going to choose some colors. I'm liking the purple theme already that we have, so I'll leave that the way it is. We can go into fonts and choose a different font. When you click on it, you can see in real time what it looks like. That one's pretty nice and bold. I'll stick to that. And you can use these arrows at the top to go through your pages to see what they look like with the different options. So once you've finished that and you've put all your content in there, you're going to simply click on Save to save your ebook, and then we will go to Generate a PDF to create our PDF. So I'm going to click on Generate PDF to create our ebook PDF. And in a few moments, we will have a beautiful ebook ready to go. So now you can see the button has changed to View PDF. I'm going to click on that, and here's our ebook. So we have our cover page here, our table of contents, we have our informational page about our website, then we have the key to finding inspiration, some content in there, 5 effective ways, finding nature, inspiration, and our last section on role models. So that's pretty cool. The book looks really nice. It looks professionally made. We made this in a few minutes. And you'll notice that on the cover page, there is a Made by Beacon watermark. That's because we're using the free version. If you want to get rid of that, you can pay for the paid version of Beacon. It's not very expensive if you're making lots of ebooks like this. So I'll just download this PDF now to my computer by clicking on the download link. And I will call it Finding Inspiration ebook and click on Save. And there you go. We have this now a great looking ebook ready to put on our store. So we'll go back to our store. And you remember that we clicked on Add New to add a new product. And I'm going to put our book title in here. Finding Inspiration in Your Life. Now, this section is for information about the product. So this shows on the shop section. When you click on the product, you'll be able to read this in the product description area. So I would put a paragraph in here about what the product is. This is a great ebook for inspiration in your, including nature and our role models. So we're going to go down to the settings here. This is our WooCommerce product settings. And you'll see that there is a virtual and downloadable checkbox here. Virtual means that they are not shipped to the person. So this is not an actual book that we're physically shipping to them. So we're going to check that off because we want it to not ask for their shipping information for the order. We're going to also put it as downloadable because this is a file that they can download after they purchase. We're going to put in our regular price. Let's just say $17. You can put a sale price if you'd like to run a sale on this item. You can schedule the sale as well. And then the downloadable files box appears, which is because we checked this off here. And we can add our PDF file. So I'll do that now by clicking on Add File. So we're going to type in a file name, and this is what the customer sees when they've purchased products from your store and they go to their download section to actually find the files for their purchase. So we're going to want to put the same file name in here as what our product was called. So I'll copy our product title, I'll put that in there, and then we're going to click on Choose File to select a file from our computer and upload it into our website hosting. So to do that, I'll click on Select Files and choose it off my computer. And as you can see in our ebook file, here's our PDF we just made. I'm going to click on that. It's going to upload our PDF to WordPress. And once that's finished, you'll see that it has it checked off. And at the bottom right-hand corner, we have Insert File URL. I'm going to click on that. And now our PDF file is in our text box here. So that's it. We've now added our PDF. You can set a download limit if you want them to only be able to get it a few times and then it blocks them. I usually leave this as unlimited because, well, they've already purchased it, so let them get that as many times as they want. You can have it expire if you'd like. And this is a short product description for on your store that's not on the main product page. I usually just put the same text as I had above in there. And that's it. So the next thing you want to do is set a product image so we can take a picture of our ebook and put it in here if you'd like. I'm just going to take a screenshot of our main cover page here. So I'll just screenshot our cover page and I will put that in there just as an example for you guys. So I'm just uploading the screenshot now. And there we go. There's our screenshot. I'll insert it into our product. And there's our image for our product. So we will check off the category for the product, which is our motivational ebooks, which we made earlier. And I'm going to publish this product. And that's it, really simple. If you see here, this is our URL to our product page, and you'll see that there's a question mark, product equals, which is really clunky, not very nice. So to do that, we want to change, to make that look nicer, we want to change our permalinks in WordPress. You can see that it's suggesting that we do that here. So I can click on change permalinks. I can also go to settings, permalinks to be able to access this setting at any time. So I'm going to change the permalinks by clicking on the button here, and I'm going to change it to post name, which makes the URLs look a lot nicer. Scroll to the bottom and click on Save Changes. You also have a few permalink options here, by the way, for WooCommerce and for your shop. If you wanted to have product / the product name, shop / the product name, or if you want to have shop / the category / etc. This is good for SEO, just so Google knows the URL path here. I usually just like to put the shop base so that it just says shop / our product name. That's a nice way to do it. I'm going to save changes, and that's it. So now when I go back to our products, you're going to see that we have a product in here called Finding Inspiration in Your Life. It's $17 under motivational ebooks, and that's it. We can go and edit it at any time by clicking in here. Now I'm going to go back to our website, and I'm going to click on our shop, and you'll see our product is now listed here for $17. I'm going to click on Add to Cart, and it's been added to my cart. You can see I have one item in my cart here, and it's $17. I can go and view my cart, or I can check out directly. If I want to view my cart, I'll click View Cart, and you can see the one product here in the cart. I can click on Proceed to Checkout, or I can apply a coupon code. Let's just really quickly show you how to add a coupon here. So I'll go to WooCommerce Coupons. So let's say that we want to do a 50% off sale for our brand new ebook. It just launched. We want to do a promotional offer that's just for a couple days for the brand new book launch. So I'm going to click on coupons under WooCommerce, and I'm going to add a new coupon for the 50% off. So we're going to first type in our coupon code. I'll just type in 50 off. You don't want to put any spaces in this or special characters. You want to keep it really simple. And we're going to choose a percentage discount, 50%. And you can set it to expire at a certain time if you want. You can also set it to only work on certain products. I'm just going to leave it open-ended for the demonstration here. And I'll click on Publish. And now when I go back to our cart, if I type in 50 off, you'll see that it goes from $17 down to $8.50 because it's removed $8.50, and it shows that there. Really neat. So that's as simple as it is to add coupons. Now I'm going to proceed to checkout, and this is where your customer will fill out their information. They will put all their name, their country, their address, their phone number, and you can also choose to turn these on and off depending on what you want to accept from the customer. And right now we only have PayPal turned on. You can turn on Stripe here. You can turn on all those different things depending on your settings and the checkout settings. And they'll continue to payment, and they'll make the purchase. And once they've done that, they'll be able to see their product in the back end of your site. So I'm going to just turn on Stripe to show you a demonstration of how this would work. So let's go back to our WooCommerce settings. We'll go to checkout. I'm going to turn off PayPal for now. Going to disable that, save the changes. I'm going to go to Stripe, and I'm going to turn on test mode in Stripe and enable that. Okay, so I'm going to set up a Stripe account here, and you can see this is Stripe. This is once I've created a Stripe account on stripe.com. So this is the API section in Stripe under API on the left-hand side, and that's going to give us our test keys, which we need to put into our Stripe settings in WooCommerce. So you'll get your product keys from here, your tokens, and you can, I'm going to turn on test data here just so I can see test information, and I'm going to copy our test API publishable key, which is this one here. I'll go back to our settings. I'm going to put our publishable key in here, and we'll put our test secret key in here. And there we go. I'm going to save changes. And now when I go to our checkout screen and I refresh the page here, so it refreshes, PayPal will disappear, and you can see that we now accept credit card using Stripe. And this section here is only showing because I have test enabled. So this is going to let me make a test purchase without actually spending real money, just to see how this works. So I'm going to check out. I'm going to type in a name. I'll put in John Doe. I'll just choose the United States as an example, just to show different countries here. I'll choose New York. And then we are going to type in the test information for Stripe for the credit card. So to do that, I'm going to copy this as our credit card number, which is not a real one, obviously. And we can type in anything for the date as long as it's valid. So we're going to put in, say, the January of 2022. So January 2022, and we're going to choose a card CSV number of 123. So I'll place the order, and obviously if this was set up to live mode and not test mode, it would do some verifications to make sure that this is an actual credit card and charge the credit card. If the payment is successful, it'll go through, and if it doesn't, it'll bring an error up here saying that the card is not valid. So because we're in test mode, it's going to work no matter what here. So I'm going to click place order. And there you go. So now we see that order has been received. We have an order number, date, email, total. It says that we paid with Stripe credit card, and here's our download, and here's our order information. So the cool thing now is that you're able to, the customer will immediately be able to download our ebook by clicking on this link here for their product download. So as soon as I click on this, this button, this big black button here, it will load, it will allow the download to happen. Now this, if you look in the URL at the bottom of your screen here, you can see that there's a lot of variables in here that make sure that this is a unique key identifier for this purchase and this customer. So they won't be able to easily share this around because you're able to see how many downloads this customer made to their account and stuff like that. So I'm going to click on the button now, and you'll see that a download window opens with our ebook in here, and they can save it to their computer. Awesome. Now on the back end, if we go back to WooCommerce and we go to orders, we'll see that we have an order that just came in for John Doe. It was 1 minute ago and it's been completed. We can click on this to view information about our customer. We can see the information from our Stripe account. We can look at all the order notes, how much they paid, and you can see other information about this customer in here as well, which is great. So that's really all you have to do. So now we've accepted payment. We have made money. Technically, if they paid with a real credit card, we would have made $8.50 for this book. And it's really that simple. And that's it. So now we have successfully created an e-commerce store. We have our product listed there. We have one order that's come through, and we're starting to make money on our website. Really simple, easy to do. We haven't had to pay a single cent to set any of this up for WooCommerce, at least. You will need to pay for hosting, and obviously there's fees with Stripe and PayPal. But other than that, this is a really simple way to get off the ground and start making money on your products and ebooks. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your journey into the world of e-commerce.